Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's Matt Abog from That's Fight Media coming at you guys with another video. You guys already know what time it is. It's time to bring on that boxing. Today we're going to be talking about Shakur Stevenson and what he had to say in a recent interview regarding Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin Haney. So Shakur Stevenson was asked about, who would be the more difficult task in terms of, just stylistically for Shakur. Who would be the more challenging opponent? And, he was asked about Tank and Devin Haney. And Shakur, not surprisingly, but he didn't say that Devin Haney, the undisputed champ, was the harder fight. He said that Tank was the harder fight. And obviously, Devin Haney is coming off that win. I almost said loss because a lot of people think he lost. I personally thought he lost. But it's a win. A win's a win. It was a close fight. I don't think it was, wide enough to call it a robbery. So I wouldn't say anyone got robbed in that fight. But I still think that Loma did enough to win the fight. So, Devin Haney obviously not coming off the cleanest win of his career, the best performance, but, he beat a very difficult fighter. Lomachenko's probably the biggest name on any of these guys' resumes. If you're going to talk about Tank, Devin, and Shakur Stevenson. And obviously Shakur, don't get me wrong, he's just starting in the lightweight division. He's going to build up those names and, get those big names on his resume as he gets his feet wet in the lightweight division. But he said that Devin Haney was the easier fight, stylistically for Shakur, and that's interesting. I think that Devin's still a guy to be reckoned with, but obviously Shakur, I think that he has that more, talent in terms of, being gifted in terms of seeing how far his opponent is, at what range he needs to be able to hit his opponent and not get hit by his opponent. So that's what makes Shakur different from Devin Haney, in my opinion. I think that Devin sometimes implements the wrong game plans. He gets hit sometimes, so Jorge Linares touched him up, and then we obviously saw Loma put his hands on him. Not beat up Devin, but, he definitely landed some clean and consequential shots against Devin Haney, which is why I thought that, that kind of impacted Shakur's, thought process on potential opponents, because obviously Shakur, he's scouting his opponents out when he's watching these fights. He saw Devin Haney not look too good. He picked Devin Haney to win before the fight. He thought that Devin would smoke him, and then, we saw the outcome, and it wasn't an easy fight for Devin. Obviously, Devin fought, a different fight than he usually does, but against a guy like Tank, if you get hit that much, Devin's definitely not making it out of that fight, in my opinion. And that's why Shakur said that Tank is the more difficult fight, because Tank carries that power from round 1 to round 12, which is what Shakur said, which is very, very interesting. He referenced the Gamboa fight specifically, where that was still earlier in Tank's career, where the power was there from round 1 all the way to the late rounds, where he eventually stopped Gamboa. But that was a tremendous fight as well. So Shakur, in his mind, is saying that Tank is the more dangerous opponent, the more difficult fight, because he's not trying to take anything away from Devin Haney, but he said that Tank's the more difficult fight because he has to be cautious with Tank through round 1 and round 12. He could be winning 8 rounds to none and, obviously wins the fight, but you still have to be careful against a guy like Tank, because one shot is all it takes from him. That's why Tank is he's up there in the pound for pound rankings for me. He's definitely, around my top 5, in my top 5, something around that area. But let me know in the comments, you guys have Tank in your top 5 pound for pound? Because I have him kind of on the brink of that. I think he's up there, he's close, just because you beat a guy like Ryan Garcia, obviously a very big name, talented fighter, but I don't think beating Ryan Garcia gets you in the top 5 of pound for pound rankings. I think he's really getting close, though. I think he's probably, if he's not my number 5, he's probably my number 6. I got like Bud, Terrence, Usyk, Bivol, and maybe Canelo, and then Tank's right there. You could throw a Nui in there. That's just me, like, off the top, but I'd probably touch up that list if I had more time to work on it. But Tank and Shakur, big fight. Tank thinks that he can beat Shakur easily. He said that all that boxing, how far is it going to get you if you have no power? How are you going to keep me off you? So Tank doesn't respect anybody's power. He intends on walking both guys down. But we know that he's very strategic in his attack. He'll wait to see what you have in the first few rounds and then get you later. So that's what's dangerous about Tank. And for Shakur to say that Tank's the more difficult fighter, I agree. Because even though Devin Haney is also a very difficult fighter, to beat, stylistically he's hard to hit, it'd be a big chess match, a very interesting chess match between Shakur and Devin. I think that Tank carries that power where it could erase all of Shakur Stevenson's work with one shot. So I think that Shakur has a good chin, but he's never been tested. His chin has never been tested against a guy like Tank. and Tank's boxing ability has never been tested against a guy like Shakur. So that's why I think that it's a tremendous fight down the line. I don't think it happens at 135, to be honest. Maybe at the next year, or early next year, but I don't think this year. That'd be crazy. But Shakur and Devin, I think that's a fight for 140, just because I don't see Devin, it didn't seem like he wanted to smoke with Shakur when, it was the perfect opportunity to make that promotion and make the fight happen when Shakur got in the ring at the top ranked card and wanted to call out Devin Haney, but Devin kind of just was in a rush to get out of the ring. But from a marketing standpoint, it was a perfect scenario for Shakur and Devin to kind of talk up a potential next fight against each other, because I think that'd be a big one. But obviously Devin had other plans. Maybe he didn't want to give Shakur the attention on his night. Could be that too. I'm not saying he's ducking Shakur. I'm just saying that's a very difficult fight for Devin, and I think Shakur beats him. But let me know in the comments who you guys have, Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. And also, do you guys agree that, Shakur facing Tank is a tougher fight for Shakur than Devin is? Let me know in the comments, because I personally agree, but let me know in the comments what you guys think, if you guys disagree, agree, and why. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.
That's going to do it for another Nads Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.